Right. So yesterday we've covered about the URL. Yeah, that's what the URL looks like. Basically, when you have the link in Ahref, we have the link and we have the text to display. Similarly, we have the link and we have the text to display. So we get to see here in this example, the first example, if you have a leading HTTP or the full address, yeah, if you have the full address, it will go to a different, generally a different website. But if you were not to include the HTTP, the protocol and stuff, yeah, the file must be relative to uh, where you call it, yeah, the location. So in this case, for example, there is no leading spaces, only hello.html, meaning to say the file hello.html must be within the same folder as the file that you are accessing. Yeah, must be this in the same location as the file that you are accessing. Let's say the file is in another folder, which basically resides inside your folder. Say you have web folder. You have web folder, and inside the web folder, you have another folder. Uh, Info, for example. And you also have folder called img, and you also have file called index. .html. All right, Noshaira is already here, and she's using the standard one. Let me try to go to the classroom. I believe that she has already.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Do you mind if I delete the other profile?
Sorry.
Do you mind if I delete your other profile?
Yes, I don't
Yeah.
mind.
Yes, I delete your the other profile, the personal profile.
Okay.
All right. There you go. You're gone from that profile. Right. So inside info, you have a file called info on index.html. What else? Bio.html. Ah, and stat.html. Image, you have pic.jpg, and logo. PNG. Now, okay, this is an example. Right. So hold on. This is it's a lot harder for me to write here, but so I will open another one. I'll just open another one instead. Again, so we have a folder called web. Oh no, just another pen. We have a folder called web. Inside this folder, we have index.html. We have yet another folder called img, and inside img we have logo.png, and pic.jpg. And we also have another folder. We also have another folder called info. Inside this info, we have a file called bio.html, as well as, what was it, the other one? Stat.html. Okay, fair enough. All right. This is what it looks like inside index.html. And we want to include logo.png. How do we include? We put img src, image source. Yeah, image source equal. How do we retrieve logo.png?
The file name, the picture name.
We can, but it won't display. You have to proceed with img slash logo dot png. Okay. Why? Because notice this is the root folder. We have index here, and we have yet another folder inside this web folder. Yeah, inside the web folder, we have img folder, and index is on the root. That's why we have to include the img. We cannot simply put logo.png because logo.png is not in the same folder as index. Instead, it is in another folder. So we have to put img, the name of the folder. Okay.
Yes,
And again, if you want to link for a file in index.html, we want to link to bio.html. What do we put? This is basically, hold on, bring this up a bit. Like that. To include logo. Now, png. Now we want to link to bio html. So we put what is the element that we need to use to link to bio.html?
href, sir.
ahref, correct, yes. ahref equal. Now, in this case, we do not refer to another website, so we simply put double quote link to the file, which is info dot hold on slash bio dot html. All right, ahref bio slash a. Now, suppose that we are already in bio dot html. Yeah, we are in bio.html. We want to include pic.jpg. How do we do that? We use img, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we use img. img src source equal double quote. What do we put? We are in bio.html and we want to access pic.jpg.
I think img slash
Slash
img slash
slash
pic.jpg. Double quote.
Now, this can be correct and this can also be incorrect. Why is that? If you are in a proper root location, this may be correct. But then again, if you are not in a proper root folder, root web folder, this will be incorrect. Instead, I would advise you to put dot img slash slash img slash pic.jpg, because here, when we are here inside info, we want to move backward into the root folder, which is slash. Yeah, slash. Now we are already in the root folder. That's why we put img after the slash, so we can access the img and logo.jpg. Sorry, pic.jpg. Slash img slash pic.jpg. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now, suppose if you open here, notice cmd dir. If you notice, if you dir, we have that and we have that. What are they? What are they?
I think it's a data from a file.
If you notice, they are in square brackets, meaning to say they are folders. Yeah, they are both in square bracket, so they are both folders. Agree?
Yes.
Agree, sir.
Okay, now let's try to access the dot first. cd dot. Where does it go? We are in C users user. When we cd dot, where does it go? in C users user again, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes.
Now, what happened if you go to cd dot dot?
C user.
C users. What does it say? What does it mean?
In the root file of users.
It means that it applies the same thing here. If you put, yeah, if you put, for example, dot slash, this refers to accessing the same folder. Dot slash parent folder. Okay. So in our case, dot slash, we access the parent folder, then we access yet another folder, only we can access the contents inside the folder. Even here, for example, here, up here, right, up here. Instead of doing img slash logo.png, we can also do something like this. Dot slash image.png, image slash logo.png. This is also correct. Understand?
Sir.
Yeah.
So the point like one dot and two dot. The directory file are different.
Yes. A single dot is when you are accessing within the same directory.
Oh, okay.
When you refer to double dot, you will go backward into a parent directory, then you access the file from there.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay.
If you want to go 2 folders downwards, meaning to say the grandparent, so you put dot slash dot slash. That will be accessing the grandparent.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So that's on that. The target attribute, we've covered about the blank. Section, we've covered about section yesterday. Suppose that the line is long or the text is long, then we want to segregate everything. So we can put section. Ordered list, we've covered about ordered list and ordered list. Yeah, we can even combine them. Such as this is ordered list. We can even combine them. And we were going to go into table yesterday, but we stopped. Now today we are going to cover on table. Today we're going to cover on table. What is the table? Of course, you have seen table all along. Yeah, you've come across many tables when you browse the internet. You'll get to see plenty of tables being used. Now we have what are the contents of tables? These are the primary elements for tables. These are the primary elements for tables. Opening table, closing a table. Important. Now we have TR and TD. When we declare a table, it will basically prepare for you to include a table. Yeah. When we declare a table, that's what you get. A place where you put your table. Now you declare TR. refers to table row. It will go to the first row. TD, it will create table data. Yeah, it will create table data. Suppose that you put 1 in here. You close that TD. You open yet again another TD. You put 2. You close that TD. Now you create again. Open another TD. You put 3. You close that TD. Now you close that TR. So this is TD. TR. TD. Slash TD. Open another TD. Open another TD. Close that TD. Open yet another TD. Blue. Close that TD. Now I cannot access the previous color. Close that TR. I just choose any color. Close that TR. Right? So TR. Open TD, close TD. Open TD, close TD. Open TD, close TD. Close TR. That completes one row. Yeah. Similarly, if you want to include another row, so you open yet another TR. TR, again, do TD, TD. Opening TD, closing TD. Opening TD, closing TD. Closing TR. Yeah, all the way through. Now, the process is enables you to create a table. And once you come to the end, you have to close the table. Of course, up here, before you start the TR, you have to open a table. And close the table. Okay. This is an example. We have table border equal 1. Table border equal 1 will enable that fat border. Yeah, this fat border. It's big, isn't it? That is the, that's what happens when you put table border equal 1. It will create a visible border. Now we create a new row. Yeah, create a row. Put the value. Put the contents inside the table, inside that particular row. TD, table data, row 1, column 1. That will go here. Close that TD. Open yet another TD. Row 1, column 2. Close that TD. Close that row. That closes. Open another row. There you go. Put the value in the TD. Put the value, row 2, column 1. Close that. Open yet another one, which is here. Row 2, column 2. There you go. Close that TD and close the table. So we have 2 rows and 2 columns. Easy? Easy?
Easy, sir.
Okay, sir.
The attributes. Okay, the attributes. We have border. Earlier, we've seen that we put border here. Okay? When we put border equal 1, so we use one attribute. Border width in pixel, border equal 2, border equal 1. Why would you need that? Most people do not like to put border. But then again, for troubleshooting, when you are working on the table, it's probably best for you to have border. And reason for that is being, when you see a border, it will be easier for you to determine whether your table is correct or not. Yeah, at least you get to see all the borders. Cell spacing is the space between the cells in the table. Cell spacing refers to this part. This part, the border here. The border here. This is cell spacing. Cell padding is the space between the edges of the cell and its content. Cell padding referring to here. That and that. The bigger the cell padding, the smaller your writing space. Understand? For example, if we put cell spacing equal 50. Yeah, cell spacing equal 50. That refers to from that location to that location. This is cell padding. Excuse me. This is cell padding. Why do you need that? You want the text to be somewhat far apart, but still in the table, only that you want it to be somewhat far apart, so that it will be more readable to users. Essentially, that is the reason why. Yeah, it's a matter of designing a good website, and this is something that I don't master. I am not the artistic part. I'm always the I'm creative in the other part, not the art part. So some of you may be interested. If you were to be UI designer, user interface designer, so UI UX, you need to know all of this. You'll be interested in this, designing a pleasant website. BG color and background. What is BG color? What is background? BG color is to set the background color. Of course, in this case, table border equal 1, BG color equal yellow. The whole table will be yellow. Okay, the whole table will be yellow. And that BG color not only can be applied on the table, but also can be applied on rows or even TD, yeah? On TR or TD, they will work the same way. Background is to set the background image. When you set a background image, then of course the background will change accordingly. Easy. It's fairly easy, only that there are so many things, isn't it? There are still another attributes. We have align, v-align, BG color, background. Align. Horizontal alignment, left, right, center. Yeah. V-align is vertical alignment, top, middle, and bottom. Now you have seen the alignment not only here, but you have seen it in word processor as well, don't you? Have you seen align in word processor? All right. Now you see row 1, column 1. You want to perform align. Yeah, align is left, right, or center. What do we do? In home, there you go. You align to the center. You align to right alignment. Okay?
Okay, sir.
And vertical alignment, V align. Is there anything? V align? Table properties. Hold on. We'll go to only this cell. Table properties for cell. Notice top, center, or bottom. We put right at the center. There you go. That's what you get. The same thing. Where do you want to place? Understand?
Yes, sir.
Understand, sir.
Right. Fair enough. That's for the alignment and vertical alignment. Background color and background, that's exactly the same thing. Generally, for the alignment, you can do, again, for everything, either for the table, for the row, or even for the column. Yeah, TR or TD. Well, generally, this is, I believe, what the slide is trying to tell you is that these are the things that you can do with table. These are the attributes for TR. These are the attributes for the cell, the TD. Let me write it down. Attributes for table. The, no. Hold on. No, doesn't allow. Attributes for table. What happened? Never mind. Right, these are the attributes for table. These are the attributes for TR. These are the attributes for TD. Okay. These are the attributes for TD. We have the same thing, align, V align. This is horizontal alignment, vertical alignment. The width, the row span. Width is the width of the column. Row span is number of rows. This cell will span, column span. BG color and background. Now, for this, I reckon only the two, row span and column span. How do they work. What is column span? What is row span? Easy peasy. We want to column span. Yeah, we want to, hold on, let me add another insert below. First, we want to column span. Span the column. First, we remove this. And merge cells. This is column span. No. This is row span. Row span. Row span. Merge. Column span. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Now, besides TR and TD, we also have TH. TH is table header. Notice we are using table header. Where is that? There you go. We have table header. Table header, what it does is that it will automatically bold your text and put that in the center of the cell. Automatically bold your text and put the text in the center. So TH basically works almost similar to TD. They are almost the same. Yeah, they are almost the same. Except that TH treats that as a header. By default, it's something like this. TD treats as normal. By default, it will be normal. Yeah. Any question?
No, sir.
Right, this is column span. As I was explaining earlier. Column span equal to aspire. Table border equal 1. TR. TD column span to aspire. So we get the aspire. We close that TD. We close the TR. That will merge the two cells from two columns together. And underneath here, we have TR, TD, brilliant, and courage. So we have two cells, whereas up here we only have one cell. Row span. We want to span the row. Two rows become one. That's why it's called row span. The same thing. Table border 1, TD there. TD row span 2 enthusiastic. Yeah, within the first TR. Within the first TR. Whereas, hold on. Within the first TR. And when we do that, in the second part, we only have one TD. Notice the difference? When we put TD there, that will put there. Then we put enthusiastic. It will place enthusiastic. Now we specify the row span to be 2. That covers for the second row. For the next row, when we declare TR and we put fantastic, that will be placed here. Number 1, number 2, number 3. When we put fantastic, we put here. The second column is no longer necessary because we already specify up here. That's why we just stop. We just stop there and close the TR. Then it becomes a complete table. Any question?
Sir.
That's when you combine row span and column span. In this case, we combine column span. Yeah, we do column span in the first TR. In the first TR, we do column span, align center, hardworking. So that will be the first one. We have hardworking. And number 2, on the second row, we have row span, vertical alignment, bottom. Knowledge. Number 2, we span the row to 2 and we put knowledge. Independent. For the second, notice up here, we have 2 columns. So we put independent into here. Notice, currently we're working here. We're working up to here. And we still have another one. That's why we create another row. We create another row. TD determination. Because the first column is already filled, we put determination here. Number 3. For the third row. Any question?
Quite confusing, but okay, sir.
This is yet another example. Forms in websites. We have registration, where you have to fill in quite a lot of things before your form is submitted. Form allows a website to receive feedback, orders, or other information from the user to be further processed by client-side or server-side processing. Examples of forms are the guestbook registration form and order form. Form elements are elements that allow the user to enter information like text fields, text area fields, drop-down menus, radio buttons, checkboxes in a form. A form is defined with the form tag. So we have form, opening form, closing form, and we have the inputs in between. Now, form has only 3 attributes. No, actually 4. ID, there's also another one called ID. Yeah, form name, form method, form action, form ID. But the most popular ones are these. These are the 2 most used attributes. Method and action. Sometimes ID. Method, you only have 2 methods. The get and the post. Only 2 methods. Get and post. Action will point to the address or page of which data will be sent to. So, example, form name equal register, method equal post, action equal form process.php. All right. when you say form name is register, we have a name for the form, no problem. Method equal post, it will be data will use the post method. Action, where the file or the form will be sent to. So let's see whether there is an explanation. All right, here. When we say there are only two methods to use, post and get, the post method will send data through document which is hidden from the user. Notice, data will be hidden. The get method will attach the data given by the user to the destination URL. Now notice here, we have source ID equal nav client. We have IE equal UTF-8. We have RLZ equal this long string. And we have Q equal UITM. These are the values that is being sent to the action page. Now, in this case, this is using the get method. Okay, this is using the get. When we put UITM here, query equal UITM. This is using the get method. If you were to use the post method, you will simply go to the action page without anything after the file, the URL. Get method, you get to see what you send. Post method, you do not get to see what you send. The current implementation, we use both interchangeably depending on the situation. But if you were to try, for example, to troubleshoot whether you have been sending the correct data or not, you can change from post to get first. Next, when you are confident that your data is correct, change that to post. All right, you can do that. Now we go into the form elements. What are the elements that we can put? The input inside the form. We can put text box. You can put text box, radio button, checkbox, hidden, text area, list down box, or password. And they are differentiated using the attributes. If you want to put text box, input type equal text, input type equal radio, yeah, for the radio button, input type equal checkbox, input type equal hidden, input type equal password. Now, these are the elements separated or differentiated using the type. The text area and list down, they use separate ways of declaration. Text area, you have to declare text area and close the text area. A text area is the multi-line input. The list down box, you would declare that using select. Okay, you would declare that using select, and the content should be, or the selection will be option, select option. We'll have a look at them. The properties or the attributes for text box, radio button, and checkbox. Type, of course, we've seen the different types earlier. Yeah, we've seen the different types. Name is the name of that particular checkbox. This is important. This is important. Sometimes we may use ID. If you were to do, especially when we're dealing with JavaScript, we would normally access those by ID. Value is whatever the user has entered or selected. Checked is the default for radio button or checkbox. If we put check, then the radio button will be checked. Accordingly, our radio button is just selected. That. For checkbox, it will be checked. Disable, the item cannot be changed. Not submitted with other data. When we put disable, sometimes we only want to let the user see the contents, not to change. And apparently, we're not going to be changing that in the database. So we simply put disable. Users can still be able to see that, but unable to change it. And we also have read only finally, in which the item cannot be changed, but the data will be submitted with other data. For example, student ID. You want people to see that, and you also need that for further processing. You specify read only. People can still see the student ID, but they do not get to change it. And that particular student ID will also be sent to the server for further processing. Now, for multi-line text, the text area, we have attributes such as name, rows, calls, disable, read only, wrap. Text area name equal comment, rows equal 4, columns equal 40. That will yield this, meaning to say we have 4 rows. We have 4 rows and we have 40 columns. That's column number 40. That's row number 4. Okay, the contents will be here in between opening text area and closing text area. This is where you put your contents. If you need to write a label inside the text area, you can do like this. Write comment here. Notice? Here. That will eventually write the text inside the text area. A list down or drop down, whatever you want to call that. We have select. We use select, the opening select, and we have the closing select. And for the values, we have option. Option value 19, 19 years old. Option value 20, 20 years old. Option value 21, 21 years old. And here is what people get to see. Here. Values is the one that will be sent to the server. Now, this is yet another way of doing it. We have select name age, if you see. Option, 19 years old. Again, 19 years old is here. But then again, there is a problem with this. The problem is that no value will be sent to the server. No value. When there is no value, this can be considered as wrong. Okay? This can be considered as wrong as much as you can still see and it can render perfectly on the browser, but it serves no purpose. So always opt for only for this, not for this. No. Only opt for this. Yes. There you go. Any question? No?
No, sir.
Right, this is an example. HTML. Head. Closing the head. We'll start the body. Student club registration in H2. H2. So that gets to there. Form name equal form1, method equal post action register.asp. Now we have name. Break. Break, go to the new line. Input type text, name equal my name. Break. That. Gender. Input type radio, name equal my gender. Value equal male. That. Female. That. Now, be extra careful when you are using radio. The name must be the same. If they are not the same, you can choose both. But if they are the same, you can only choose one. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Next, we have age and we have select. And these are all has been explained. Now, favorite course, we have check boxes. Check boxes, notice they're using different names. Different names. When they use different name, meaning to say user can users can check more than one options. Next, we have text area for visions in life. Rows equal 4, columns equal 40. Text area, nothing in between. So it's plain, but the text area is here. Next, we have submit. Input type equals submit. Value equals submit. That value will be this value, will be presented here. Type reset. Value equal reset. Value is here. Okay, the type must be correct. Even if you put value equal to input type reset value equal submit, if you click that particular submit, your form will be reset. So type is important here. Very important. You know what you're doing. All right? Oh, right. It's at the end of the slides. Yes, that's the end of the slide. Have you any question? No?
No, sir.
Oh, sign in with Google. Now they've introduced another one. All right. Sign in with Google. Google account activation for your ATM. This is something new. Wow. Oh, I didn't know. Have you gone here? Open access online. Wow. EQPS. There you go.
If tak silap dulu guna ni kan. Apa?
I don't know. The last semester, they did not implement this just yet. This is fine, but that
Guna
this
staff
thing.
ID dengan student ID.
Yes.
Baru
Wow.
ambil.
View question papers, search all question papers. So we have csc318, any year is fine. Let's go with 2020. Which attribute may be used in a tag to specify the color of the background on a web page? Which one? BG color, background color, color BG, color for BG.
PG color.
BG color. What is the tag to display a picture in HTML?
SRC.
IMG.
IMG. How do you make a bullet list with numbers in HTML?
OL.
OL.
Ordered list. What is the correct HTML element for making drop-down list? Which one?
List or drop down, sir?
Select.
Select.
We just covered select just now. Select option. Yeah, select.
Oh.
Which attribute may be used in a tag to specify the color of background of the web page? Oh, that we've covered this one. The same question. Same question. What allows webmasters to present document in multiple views, which may be independent windows or sub-windows? Right, we did not cover this one, did we? But basically, this is called HTML frames. When we have frames, although no one is using frame nowadays, but still the question may ask you, I don't know about now. No, I reckon no. They will not ask you about this anymore. Now we haven't covered this one. We haven't covered this. Can we work on this first? Because this is easier. Yeah? Can we work on this first? So you are going to come out with this page. Okay? Only this.
Only questions 2, sir.
For now, yes, only question 2. All right. Shall we spend about 10 minutes only for this? So it will start with you. Right. From here we can see that you are using paragraph. When you are using a paragraph, that's why it leaves some space between number 1 and 1 campus. Notice, when you use paragraph, it will leave a space between number 1 per list and 1 campus. And I can see that you're using style. Of course, style is a new one. As much as I would suggest you to use style, but then again, we have yet to come into the styling part. That's why we prefer to use type. At least for this part, it will be easier. So, and another one is that you did not specify the style for the first UI. Notice number 1 per list, and then you change that to UL, unordered list. That unordered list, instead of the question says that you have to use disk, but you are using circle. So basically the program is not that difficult to see. All right, let me show you my answers. View source. Let's see, present entire screen. Right, enlarge that a bit. HTML body. Body is the one that we want to display. I did not put any head because apparently I only want to list the body. UiTM campus based on state. Ordered list. I did not specify the type because we merely want the numbering. So there's no need for the type. LI for list. Within this LI, we declare another UL, an ordered list inside the ordered list. LI, 1 campus. And that 1 campus, we have not closed the LI. Notice, we have not closed this LI. We'll continue with yet another UL, type square. LI, arrow. We close this LI, we close this UL, we close this LI, we close this UL, and we close this particular LI. But we are still on the OL, ordered list. Open yet another list item. Do exactly the same thing. Work on the third LI. Do exactly the same thing, except here we have to add another list index, list item. The same thing here. So if you see Kedah and Penang, they're the same. except that Penang has got 2 campuses, 2 LI. And all the way down, all right, I forgot one thing. Of course, if you can notice, I forgot one thing. What did I forget? I forgot, notice, this closes for this LI, but the OL has not been closed. So ideally, you should close the OL. That will complete the whole thing. Save. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Does it make sense?
Makes
Yes.
sense.
Yes? I purposely indent so that you can understand it better. I purposely indent so that you can understand better. Notice, for example, we have OL, the outermost. We have LI. Within this same LI, we declare yet another one. Right? So you can see from here. Do they look difficult?
No.
No.
But I still confused about UL and LI.
UL is unordered list. OL is ordered list. The contents within OL and UL are only LI.
Oh.
Yeah. So ordered list, we have LI. UL, unordered list, we also have LI. The same thing. Because apparently they are also list.
Okay, sir.
Any question?
No, sir.
No, sir.
If you have no question, now we dismiss class for today and I'll see you again next week. So thank you very much and Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, sir.
Waalaikumsalam, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.